This is the best moments of the Barbecue Central show in 10 minutes or less. Ever wish you could re-listen to your favorite interview or segment? Do you enjoy hearing older shows for the first time in years? Then the best moments of the Barbecue Central show in 10 minutes or less is just what you need. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show.
Hello, John Solberg here, your host for the best moments of the Barbecue Central show in 10 minutes or less. Need to let you know today's episode is being brought to you by The Butcher Shop. Purveyors of highly sought after 100% Australian non-crossbred Wylara 9 Plus briskets, and as always, handpicked just for you. The Butcher Shop has been retailing the finest meats for the past 15 years. Every week, they are shipping out competition quality meats to many of the biggest teams in the competition scene across the nation. Simply put, teams who use the Butcher Shop win, and they win often. Not a competitor, but still have an eye for the finer cuts? Great news, the Butcher Shop is shipping some of the finest prime, dry-aged Australian Wagyu and Japanese Wagyu steaks to people just like you and me who aspire to be the kings and queens of their cul-de-sac. The Butcher Shop always has Berkshire, Compart Duroc, Allegiance Duroc, and Prairie Fresh all-natural pork in stock, and again, always handpicked for you. Now you might be saying, John, all this sounds great, but what about some exotic stuff? Well, rest easy knowing the Butcher Shop will get you your next elk steak or camel roast. They will ship it out promptly. Yes, they will ship you elk and camel. Let's review the best competition briskets, check. The best pork selection, check. Giving you better overall options to cook at home, check. So give the Butcher Shop a call today, 850-458-8782. That's 850-458-8782. Mention the Barbecue Central show for 10% off your entire order each and every time. You can also reach out to them on Facebook, facebook.com/The Butcher Shop, shop spelled S-H-O-P-P-E. The Butcher Shop, home of the 100% non-crossbred Wylara 9 Plus briskets. And today we're going to take a jump back to May 24th in 2016. Greg's going to talk a little Team of the Year stuff with pitmaster of Clark Crew BBQ, Travis Clark.
All right, my guest in the second hour has won his last 3 barbecue competitions, backing up his current KCBS Team of the Year status. Here to talk about the last handful of contests and where the 2016 barbecue picture is for him currently, how 5 months into the season are going. Pitmaster of the Clark Crew BBQ team, Travis Clark, joining me here on the show. Travis, how are you, buddy?
Good, man. How are you?
Doing absolutely fabulous, Trav. Appreciate you making time, as always. So, it always seems like we're pulling you in after you have accomplished some type of majestic feat like winning KCBS Team of the Year or rattling off a handful of wins in a row. Certainly this time is no different. The last 3 barbecue competitions that you've entered, you've won. So, from an outsider looking in perspective, you had a great season last year, kind of a tooth and nail all the way to the end, very exciting. And you've started 2016 kind of like a house of fire, amassing a number of grand championships already again this season. How are you guys finding it 5, almost 6 months into it?
It seems a little different than last year. I mean, it seemed like we were kind of butting our heads against the wall. I felt like I was coming out this year. I really felt like I've been cooking better than ever. Our first cook of the year, I thought it was the best cook I've ever done in my life. I've never closed the lid and thought I had 4 180s in my life, and obviously it didn't go that way. I really feel like I'm cooking better than ever, and it just wasn't going that way, and now it kind of is. It just kind of comes and goes, the law of averages.
Is there any kind of pressure that isn't there this year, that because last year was the year that we're going to make the run for the KCBS title, you told me at the end of the year, this is something that we're not going to consciously go out and do again. So is there a non-pressure there for you guys at this point, and maybe that's why you feel the way you're feeling?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I have no pressure. I had one goal this year, and that was to get back into the Jack. We needed a couple more wins to do that. We got that done. And now I honestly, I have no pressure on me at all. I mean, I'm not trying to do anything. We're trying to have fun. Last year it got to a point where it wasn't fun anymore, and it became, I don't want to say a business, but just so much of a task at hand, what had to happen. And this year I don't have that. It's just cook where we want, have fun, try to do some contests this summer that's fun for the kids. And it's pretty relaxing, actually. You know, we're still going at it hard, it seems like, but there's just no stress.
So is it still safe to say, as we sit here on May 24th or, whatever the hell the date is, that the team right now is definitely still in the we're not going out to intentionally repeat as team of the year?
Oh, absolutely. That's not even a goal of mine. I mean, I guess if we get down in October and we're sitting in a position, I guess it's something we'll talk about. And when I say we, it's going to be talking to my wife, and she's probably not going to be real thrilled about it again. If we find ourselves in a position, I'd like to be in the position to do it if need be. But, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to say I don't want to be in that position, but I just don't want a repeat of last year. It was just so hard on everything as far as a family and time consuming and money. It was just not a real fun task to do.
Do you physically have the time off and, not the money stuff, but do you have the ability to make a run if, come the end of August or September, if you're still having fun and you're doing what you want, but all of a sudden maybe you found yourself in a spot where you're 50, 60, 70 points ahead of everybody and the competitive juices get flowing and the repeat type of a thing. I mean, you strike me as a pretty competitive guy, no matter how easy it is right now, that if it came down to it and it was feasible, you might want to put a boot on somebody's throat and do it again.
Yeah. I mean, if it come down to 4 or 5 guys and it was able to where we could all, do it, and go after it, I'd probably do it. I really would. I mean, the competitive side of me wants to. Vacation wise, I blew the wad last year. I had it all saved up. I mean, I started out the year with a ton of vacation, and I just don't have any this year. But I've been off. The reason I've been able to cook a lot lately is because I had knee surgery, so now I'm just back to work like restricted. So I pretty much can get my Fridays off and cook. So it's been pretty good on that part of it, other than the fact that I'm obviously kind of injured. You're pretty sore by the end of a turn, and you're hobbling around like you're on a damn peg leg. But it's it's been good. It's been good to be able to do that. I wouldn't have been able to cook near as much if I wouldn't have had knee surgery. So I mean, I guess that's a positive of it. But I don't know, as far as making a run late in the year, I mean, I don't know. I don't really think I'd have the time to. It just depends on how it goes. Last year we spent a ton of time chasing it. And I mean, a ton. I spent every hour of vacation I had.
Travis Clark joining me here on the show, pitmaster of Clark Crew BBQ Team. A couple minutes ago, Travis, you had said a couple things that, you find, I guess, sad in a way, right? Because you're KCBS Team of the Year. Nobody's ever going to be able to take that away from you. But when you look at other sports, and certainly you can't compare competition barbecue to baseball or basketball or whatever. However, there's championships and all those. There's seasons that go into them. Potentially none of them are even nearly as long as the competition barbecue season is. And you're like, man, it just wasn't fun anymore. When you talk to, the guys that win other championships, there might be times when it wasn't fun, but it seems like, and you're not the only one that said it, it seems like that the guys that win the championships for Team of the Year, KCBS, to a man or woman say, man, it was just so not fun. Like, way into it wasn't fun. And to me, there's got to be some way to fix that to make it fun for you guys while still maintaining, the competition spirit as well, don't you think?
Find out what Travis had to say over at the bbqcentralshow.com. This was a great show. This was pulled from. Kevin Coleman was in during this show, also talking about the Weber Charcoal Summit release, a lot of other great stuff. Make sure you subscribe to the Barbecue Central Show in your podcast feed. You will never miss an episode of this show or the really big show again. While you're cruising around the interwebs, stop by facebook.com/thebutchershop. Shop spelled SHOPPE. It's about time you ordered a 100% Australian non-crossbred Wylara 9+ brisket. Get that on your cooker. Mention the Barbecue Central Show when you order, and you're going to save 10%. And until next time on the best moments of the Barbecue Central Show in 10 minutes or less, I'm your host, John Solberg. I look forward to talking to you again soon.